On this day 70 years ago, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled their homes. Many of them ran north, crossing over the border into Lebanon. We can cross there now to Qana in the south of the country to speak to our correspondent, Leila Molana-Allen. Leila, firstly, how is Nakba marked where you are?
Yes, so as you say, many Palestinians in this country. The government says about 174,000 refugees here, but the UN Palestinians Agency here says it's more like 450,000. There are 12 camps across the country, and if that's correct, that figure, that would add up to about 10% of the country here. And that's not factoring in all the Lebanese who have historical Palestinian ancestry, who are citizens here now. So a really important event here. And of course, it's also Lebanese here because there have been many wars over the years since 1948 and 1967, many wars after that, the most recent in 2006. And there was an occupation here in the south of Lebanon for 18 years from 1982 to 2000. So very important for the whole country. Now, today there's going to be a big commemoration in the south of Lebanon. And what will happen is that people will gather from the north and from Beirut. They will all come down together around lunchtime. And from 4 o'clock in the Golan Heights in Arnon, there will be a big commemoration organized by the big Shia parties here, Hezbollah and Amal, but it's for everyone. Everyone is invited to come and commemorate this. So they will come together, there will be speeches, and there'll be a demonstration, a peaceful demonstration of sorts. However, I've been talking to Palestinians in camps and outside camps here, and they're saying nobody will be going nearer the border than that. They can see what's happening in Gaza, and nobody is taking the risk of going down to that Israeli border.
Meanwhile, Leila, we can see the remnants of past conflicts behind you. How is this anniversary, playing into the tensions in the region?
Yes, I mean, it's really quite, the tension here is heavy at the moment. Obviously, this is 70 years since what they call the Nakba, the catastrophe. And there are so many different layers piling up here. So we've had tensions the last few weeks, obviously in Gaza, with all these events going on with the Great March of Return. And then here we've had on the Syrian border, because of course Lebanon shares a border with Syria and Israel, on the Syrian border, tensions over the last few weeks with attacks. And then last Thursday, we had that shelling in the Golan between Iranian positions and Israeli positions. Just to give you a sense of how close that was to Lebanon, the Lebanese army were in the south picking up pieces of discarded artillery that had dropped from those attacks, even though it wasn't in Lebanese territory. So really close there. Then we've also had the election, the Lebanese election, which was just over a week ago, when Hezbollah came out on top and the Israeli government saying we will consider anything that Hezbollah does to be the action of the Lebanese government, and also pulling out of the Iran deal, obviously increasing tensions. Now, there is a real sense here that with the Jerusalem embassy move, the US embassy move yesterday, it was deliberately provocative. People here saying it was a provocation set on one day between Sunday, which was Flag Day for the Israelis, the day they celebrate taking Jerusalem, and today, Nakba Day, the day that Palestinians and the surrounding countries mourn, they say, the creation of the Israeli state. So really provocative having that embassy move yesterday. And then, of course, here it's also the beginning of Ramadan. Today is the first day of Ramadan. And so at a time when families would normally be settling down, closing up shop to have a period of restful reflection and family time, everyone here in the south worried that they might be facing a war in the next few weeks or months. So really a very tense time here in the south of Lebanon.
And I guess, Leila, playing into all that, I mean, you're coming to us live from Qana, a town in the south of the country that did see an incursion very recently, I believe, back in 1996. So that memory is still very much alive.
Absolutely. This town is almost a memorial to this massacre, what they call the massacre that happened here. I'm actually at the site of it right now. And in 1996, lots of Lebanese civilians sheltered here inside a UN compound. Now, this was during the long-running occupation in the south, but specifically it was the Grapes of Wrath, that attack that the Israelis had here. It was for about 2 weeks, and they were trying to stop Hezbollah from sending missiles into Israel. And so here, lots of Lebanese civilians, they sheltered here, and 100 were killed when a missile was sent straight into the UN compound here. There have been attacks since. There were attacks in 2006 when there was a war, but really that is the lasting memory, that big attack in 1996. And they've kept everything here exactly as it was. A tank here that was occupying here. They've got the exact site with everything, the debris on the ground. So really a memorial, and every year they celebrate it, well, mourn it and celebrate it in great style, celebrating what they call the martyrs of that attack.
OK, Leila, well, I know you're filming a focus report for us from that town, so we look forward to seeing that. But for now, thanks indeed. Leila Molana-Allen there reporting for us from the south of Lebanon.